My beloved child, quiet your heart in this moment, for I am calling you into a season no longer meant for uncertainty. There are stages in life when I allow you to rest, to be bandaged, to learn how to breathe again amid the things that have worn you down. But there are also moments when I awaken you, not with harshness, but with the solemn love of a father who knows exactly what you were created for. This is such a moment. I do not want you to keep drifting through undefined days, letting your mind be pulled away by every noise, letting your emotions be led by every small disturbance, letting words leave your mouth without being examined in the light. You were not called to live carelessly in this restless age. You were called to stay awake, to walk with clarity, to know what must be kept, what must be released, what must remain silent, and what must be spoken with courage and my gentleness. My child, everything that rises within you is like a seed. A thought that is nourished for a long time can become a path. A word that is sown can become either a wound or healing. An emotion that you hold on to without bringing it before me can become a cloud that darkens your vision. That is why I do not teach you watchfulness, so you may live in tension, but so you may live in freedom. A watchful person is not someone who is always afraid of making mistakes, but someone who knows how to place their heart under my light before taking action. A discerning person is not someone who suspects everything, but someone who can recognize which voice brings peace, which voice pulls them into chaos, which voice draws them closer to me, and which voice quietly cools the holiness in their life. My beloved child, I know there are times when you see yourself as small, as though the things you say, think, and choose do not create anything significant. But I see you differently from the way you see yourself. Within you, there is a lamp I have lit, not so you may display yourself before others, but so you may quietly illuminate the way in dark places. That light does not come from your own ability. It is not sustained by your fragile effort, and it does not belong to the praise or recognition of the world. That light is the reflection of the love I have placed within you, the mark of my presence, the proof that you do not belong to chaos, even though you are living in a world full of shaking. Therefore, what you carry is not ordinary. There are people silently watching the way you stand firm. There are hearts being encouraged by your peace without you even knowing it. There are rooms that become lighter simply because you enter them with a spirit preserved by me. But you must also understand that the more precious the light is, the more carefully it must be protected. Not so you will fear the darkness, but so you will not take lightly the things that are quietly trying to dim your purity. Some trials do not come in a frightening form, but through prolonged weariness, through words that make you question your worth, through comparisons that make you forget the unique journey I have prepared for you. Sometimes darkness does not try to make you fall immediately. It only wants you to slow down in discouragement. Stay silent when you need to testify to what is right. Lower your head when you need to stand firm. Or convince yourself that the light within you has no meaning. But today I say to you, do not believe that lie. What I have placed within you is still alive. Your lamp has not gone out. And in the very moment of testing, that light will be refined to burn more steadily, more deeply, and more purely. Remember Gideon, my child. When I sent the angel to meet him, he was not standing in the middle of a glorious victory, nor was he being praised by the people as a mighty man. He was threshing wheat in a hidden place because he feared the enemy. In his own eyes, he was only a weak man from a small family, with nothing remarkable that would make him worthy of a great mission. But I did not call him according to his fear. I called him according to what I had placed within him. I called him a mighty warrior before he felt mighty. I saw the flame before he realized there were still embers within him. And when he followed my leading, I did not need a large army to reveal my power. I reduced the number of men so he would understand that victory does not come from the crowd, but from obedience and my presence. Do you see? My child, I often call people out of the places where they have withdrawn into themselves. I often awaken strength in those who once thought they were too small. Gideon had to learn that my choosing is not based on outward appearance, circumstances, or the way a person evaluates themselves. In the same way, do not let old seasons of fear define you. Do not let the times you stayed silent because of pain make you think you no longer have a voice. Do not let weariness make you believe you no longer have the ability to rise. I do not call you light because darkness has never passed through your life. I call you light because I have placed within you something darkness can never possess. Therefore, in this season, guard the doors of your life. Guard what you hear, because not every sound deserves to remain in your mind. Guard what you look at, because the eyes often open the way for what will grow in the heart. Guard your words, because words can build an altar of faith, and they can also open a path for bitterness. Guard the relationships around you, not with coldness, but with wisdom. Not everyone who comes close is nourishing what I have placed within you. There are people you must love from a healthy distance. There are conversations you do not need to join. There are arguments you do not need to win. There are explanations you do not need to give. Because your peace is more precious than being understood by everyone. Being watchful does not mean becoming hard, severe, or distant. Being watchful means knowing how to remain gentle without being easily swept away. To love without losing discernment. To be humble without lowering the value I have given you. I want you to become a person with a warm light, one that does not overwhelm others through display, but allows them to feel peace when they are near you. I want you to carry holy steadfastness within you, so that even when the world changes, you will not be pulled away from what is right. You do not need to shout loudly to prove you have light. A true lamp only needs to burn, and the darkness must retreat on its own. So if you have recently felt more tested, do not quickly assume that you are failing. It may be a sign that what I have placed within you is entering a stage of refinement. Gold does not fear the fire when the refiner's hand knows its purpose. In the same way, I do not allow trials to burn you to ashes. I use them to remove the things that no longer belong to the new season. I am making your heart clearer, your words weightier, your presence more peaceful, and your steps deeper. The things that once shook you will no longer rule over you as they once did. The voices that once made you doubt yourself will gradually lose their power. You will learn to stand still in me, not because everything has become easy, but because you know you are held by the one who never changes. Today, I place before you a gentle but serious invitation. Live as one who has been awakened. Slow down enough to hear me. Speak less when your heart is not at peace. And speak with kindness when I tell you to raise your voice. Let your thoughts be washed clean of fear. Let your emotions be led back to truth. Let your daily choices become the place where light is nourished and grows. You are not alone in guarding that lamp. I am the one who lit it. And I am also the one who will provide the oil so it may continue to burn. My beloved child, this age needs people who are not captivated by noise, not subdued by darkness, and not willing to trade purity for acceptance. I have placed you in this life, not so you may dissolve into chaos, but so you may become a sign of peace. Stay awake, but do not be afraid. Discern, but do not close your heart. Stand firm, but remain gentle. The light within you belongs to me, and when you allow me to preserve it, no darkness can extinguish what I have decided to make shine through your life. My beloved child, in the stillness of tonight, when the room around you still carries the traces of a long day, I come near to you not with a sound that startles you, nor with severity that makes you afraid. I come like a soft wind passing through the window, like a small lamp still burning in the depth of night, like the hand of a father resting gently on the shoulder of a child who has tried so hard. My child, listen to me in this moment, for there is something I want to place in your heart with deep love. Your hour has come. Not the hour for confusion, not the hour for panic, and certainly not the hour for you to try to control everything with your tired hands. This is the hour for you to stop. Breathe slowly. Release the anxieties that do not belong to you, and step into the new thing I have quietly prepared for a long time. Perhaps you have not yet been able to name the movement taking place within you, but I know you can feel it. There is a gentle prompting growing in your heart, not loud like the pressure of the world, not rushed like hasty ambition, but steady and holy. It is like a door opening slightly before you, and from the other side, a gentle light is streaming through its gap. You have not seen the whole path. You do not yet know where each step will lead. But deep within you, there is a quiet confirmation that this is not random. It is me calling you. It is me inviting you to leave a land that has become too narrow, too old, too familiar with weariness, and to step into a journey that is wider, brighter, and closer to me. My child, I know you have tried to live within familiar cycles because you thought they were safe. You have grown accustomed to days passing in the same way, accustomed to suppressing greater desires, accustomed to telling yourself not to expect too much so you would not be disappointed again. But my beloved child, familiarity is not always a place of peace. There are things you call stability that are really old, garments no longer fitting you. There are places you call shelter that are actually keeping you from the wide field I want to lead you into. I do not blame you for staying so long. I know you have been tired, afraid, and that you have walked through seasons that made your faith tremble. But today, I am not merely comforting you in the old room. I am opening the door and calling you to step out. That call does not come from the fleeting noises of the world. It is not the temptation of vanity, nor the pull of things that would cause you to lose your purity. That call comes from eternity, from the one who knew you before you knew yourself, from the one who wove every noble longing within you with love and holy purpose. You were not created to keep circling an old mountain of fear, delay, and doubt. You were not created merely to get through the day, merely to endure, merely to silently shrink into a life that no longer carries new breath. I created you to rise in the light, to walk in freedom, to know that each day of your life can become a response to my love. Even so, I know there are questions in your heart that you have not dared to speak aloud. Perhaps you are whispering, Father, if my hour has come, why do I still feel so small? Why am I still afraid? Why am I still not strong enough, ready enough, clear enough? My beloved child, I do not call you because you are already perfect. I call you because I know what I have placed within you. I do not wait until you stop trembling before I lift you up by the hand. I do not wait until you understand everything before I lead you forward. When I called Abraham to leave his homeland, he did not yet see the entire promised land. He had only an invitation, a leading, and enough faith to take the first step. It was while walking that he learned to know me more deeply. In the same way, you do not need a complete map before you begin to obey. You only need to trust that the one who calls you is faithful. Let that story become a small lamp for you in this hour. Abraham left the familiar not because he knew every detail ahead, but because he recognized that the call came from me. He did not walk by control, but by surrender. And through every stage, every altar that was built, every period of waiting, every trial along the journey, I transformed an ordinary man into one who carried a great promise. Do you see? I often begin great things with a very gentle call. I do not always give a radiant road immediately before your eyes. Often I only give enough light for the next step. But when you walk in trust, the light will continue to unfold. So do not be afraid if you do not currently have all the answers. Do not let uncertainty make you retreat from what I am inviting you into. There are doors that only open wider when you draw near. There are waters that only part when your foot touches them. There are blessings that are only revealed when you stop holding on to the old out of fear of loss. I am not telling you to enter the new season in haste, but I am inviting you to enter it with watchfulness. Quiet your heart. Let the hurried voices settle. Learn to distinguish between the fear that is holding you back and my voice that is leading you forward. Fear makes you shrink, but my voice brings deep peace, even when you do not yet understand the whole path. My beloved child, the new thing I have prepared is not only a different circumstance, but a different way of living. I want to teach you not to live as one controlled by the past. I want you to stop defining the future by the times you were disappointed. I want you to step out of the small room of old limitations, not with pride, but with humble faith. A new season does not necessarily begin with loud celebration on the outside. Often it begins with a quiet decision in the heart. You will no longer resist my leading. You will no longer delay obedience because you fear you are not good enough. You will no longer bury the gifts I have given you just because someone once failed to recognize your value. Look back, and you will see that I have been preparing you longer than you realized. The days of waiting were not meaningless. The closed doors were not useless. The seasons when you thought you were being held back were actually the times when I was teaching you discernment, patience, and tenderness. I formed in you a depth you could not have gained if everything had come too easily. I taught you to treasure my presence more than the applause of the crowd. I allowed you to pass through quiet places so my voice could become clearer than every other voice. And now, when I say that your hour has come, it does not mean you must accomplish everything by yourself. It means it is time for you to cooperate with what I am doing. So rise in peace, not in tension. Prepare your heart, not with worry, but with trust. Clear away within you the things that have long ceased to belong to the new season. Self-blame, delay, fear of rejection, the habit of belittling yourself, and the old words that once made you forget that I have called you with love. I am leading you to a place where life flows more fully, but you cannot carry every burden from the old season and step into it lightly. Give me what you cannot fix. Place into my hands what you cannot understand. Let me make you strong through my gentleness. Tonight, your small room may still feel cluttered, but within you, a new order is being established. The things that once felt tangled will no longer rule over you. The fears that once slowed your steps will no longer be your master. I am calling you by name, opening a path before you, and lighting within you a flame that does not come from your fragile will, but from my steadfast love. Hear me, my beloved child, your hour has come, not because you have everything in your hands, but because I am holding your hand, not because you understand the whole future, but because I am the one who goes before you. Walk forward, trust, open your heart. The new thing is beginning, and I will be with you in every breath of this journey. My beloved child, this hour does not come to you like a distant call or a passing reminder in the wind. This is the moment when I place my hand upon your life with the tenderness of a father who has waited for you for a long time. I do not come to make you tremble. I do not come to repeat the things you have done wrong. And I do not come to add another burden to a heart that is already weary. I come to call you out of the quiet sleep you have grown used to living in. A sleep not born of laziness, but born because months of wounds, disappointments, and waiting have slowly caused you to close yourself off. My child, hear my voice calling with unchanging love. Stay awake. Rise, and let my light touch the place you thought could no longer feel anything. I know your recent days have not been easy. There have been seasons when you walked like someone lost in a thick fog, still trying to move forward, yet no longer certain in your heart that you were going in the right direction. You had dreams that once burned brightly, then quietly faded into silence without anyone noticing. You once hoped, then were disappointed. You once believed, then wondered whether that faith was being tested beyond what you could bear. There were nights when you could not put words together, only lying still in the darkness while questions circled in your heart. Do I still see you? Do I still remember the prayer you asked of me? Do I know how long you have waited, my beloved child? I have heard, I have seen. Not one sigh of yours has fallen where I did not know it, and not one tear has been forgotten before me. But because I know you have remained in that narrow place too long, today I will not allow you to keep calling darkness home. You have become used to withdrawing, used to living cautiously, used to expecting less, so you will hurt less. You have learned how to smile even when your heart is heavy, how to say you are fine even when inside you need to be supported, how to enter a new day without daring to expect anything good. I do not blame you for that. I understand why you became careful. I understand why you are afraid to hope again. But my child, I did not create you merely to exist in a state of restraint. I created you to walk in life, in peace, in light, and in faith renewed each day by my hand. The light I bring you today is not a harsh light that forces you to cover your face in shame. It is a gentle light, a healing light, a light that does not reveal in order to condemn, but illuminates in order to set free. When that light enters, it does not ask why you are weak, but gently loosens each knot that is tightened around your heart. It does not mock the times you stumbled, but shows you where you can stand again. It does not shame you for the years when you trembled, but reminds you that even when you thought you were covered, I was still preserving you with a patience no one could see. Darkness may have been near you for a long time, but it has no right to own you. Weariness may have made you silent, but it cannot be the final voice over your life. Remember the story of the paralyzed man who lay beside the pool of Bethesda for 38 years. He had been there so long that waiting had almost become part of his life. Day after day, he watched others step into the water before him, watched hope pass by without being able to grasp it. Perhaps he had grown used to his position, used to the old mat, used to the gaze of people, used to the thought that he would remain there forever. But when Jesus came near, he did not begin with rebuke. He asked only one question that awakened what seemed to have fallen asleep in that man's heart. And when the command was given, the one who had lain motionless stood up, picked up his mat, and walked. Do you see? My beloved child, a single time of my coming near is enough to change what has seemed fixed for many years. What has lasted a long time does not mean it will last forever. What you have grown used to enduring does not mean I want you to keep living that way. Therefore, today I ask you with that same gentleness, do you want to be made new? Do you want to leave the place where you have lain too long in discouragement? Do you want to stop seeing your wounds as your identity? To stop letting old disappointments define the way you look at the future? I do not ask in order to pressure you, but to awaken the courage I placed within you from the beginning. There is still a part of you that wants to live, still wants to believe, still wants to step out from under the sad dust that has covered your holy longings. And I am calling that part to rise, not by your own strength, but by the loving power of mine that is lifting you from within. My child, do not be afraid when the light begins to touch the places you have hidden. Some wounds need to be acknowledged, before they can be healed. Some chains need to be called by their true name before they can be removed. Some habits of sadness have clung to you for so long that you thought they were part of who you are. But I know you more deeply than the things you have been through. I knew you before pain made you cautious, before disappointment made you silent, before unanswered words made you think heaven had turned away. In my eyes, you are not a forgotten child on the edge. You are my beloved child, the one I still call by name, the one I have been preserving for a day of awakening like today. From this moment on, do not keep walking as though you have no one to guide you. Do not let the dark years teach you to doubt my goodness. Do not let closed doors cause you to conclude that every door will remain shut. I am opening a new place of light, not noisy, not rushed, but certain. You will not need to chase human validation in order to know you are loved. You will not need to prove your worth by exhausting yourself. I will teach you how to rest and still remain steady, to walk without panic, to hope without fearing that hope will break. What I am doing in you is not a passing emotion, but a deep, lasting, and holy restoration. So rise, my child, not to fight everything by yourself, but to rise because I am holding your hand. Leave the old mat of defeated thoughts. Leave the dark corner of self-pity. Leave the voice that has told you many times that you cannot change. I do not call you into the light so you may be exposed, but so you may be free. I do not awaken you so you will fear, but so you will remember that dawn still belongs to you. Open your heart to receive the new breath I am giving. Let my peace enter every empty space. Believe that what has fallen asleep can live again. What has dried up can flow again. And what has grown dim can shine brightly under my hand. There are things you once thought were failures, but under my light, they were protection. There were people who left you, opportunities that did not come to pass, plans that collapsed, and you hurt because you thought your life was losing something precious. But my beloved child, not every closed door is rejection. Sometimes it is my mercy, placing a shield before you, so you will not step into a place that would drain you, mislead you, or cause you to lose the purity I am nurturing within you. You saw a road blocked, but I saw the deep pit farther ahead. You saw a prayer that was not answered according to your desire, but I saw something better being prepared at the right time. Remember the story of Elijah, who once stood before the great wind, the earthquake, and the fire. Yet my voice was not in those fierce things. Afterward, in the gentle stillness, I came near and spoke to him. Do you see, my child? Many times, you wait for me to appear through great events, through an undeniable sign, through an immediate change that makes every worry disappear. But I often choose to step into your life through gentleness, through a small reminder, through a quiet space where you suddenly realize that you are not alone. Like Elijah, you may be tired after silent battles. You may have wanted to give up because you thought you no longer had enough strength. But I still have bread for you on the long road, water for you in the dry place, and a call reserved for you in the cave of sorrow. Do not mistake my silence for absence. My child, there are seasons when I do not answer with noise because I am working in the hidden depths that you cannot yet see. There are times when I allow you to wait, not because I am indifferent, but because what you are asking for must be placed in a better time. You once thought you were forgotten when things did not happen as you hoped, but I have never taken my eyes off you. I know when you are weak. I know when you need to be lifted up. I know even the tears you quickly wiped away before anyone could see them. Before people, you may have to be strong, but before me, you are allowed to be small, allowed to be tired, allowed to say, Father, I need you. My child, I do not come to judge the scratches of your past. I come to bandage, to restore, to relight the flame where you thought it had gone out. The things you have silently endured do not make you distant from me. Rather, those are the very places I want to touch with my kindness. Do not hide your broken places from me, because no brokenness is so great that my love cannot hold it. Do not be afraid to bring me the questions that have no answers, for I am not afraid of your weakness. I only long for you not to lock yourself in loneliness and believe that no one understands. I understand you. I understand even the things you do not know how to express. Today, I invite you to slow down. Let the noises outside move a little farther away so you can hear the gentle word I am placing in your heart. It is not by chance that you have been drawn to this moment. It is not without reason that these words touch you at the very time you need confirmation. I am reminding you that you are still loved, still guided, still preserved. The doors that have closed are not the end of the story of your life. The roads that have been blocked are not proof that you have been abandoned. They may be the way I turn you toward a place of life, peace, and a cleaner beginning. So, place your hand upon your heart and stop resisting that gentle call. Let me enter the rooms you have locked. Let me soften the places that have hardened because of disappointment, brighten the places that have dimmed because of waiting, and strengthen the places that have been shaken by things that did not go as you hoped. I do not need you to be perfect before I come near. It is precisely when you feel weakest that I most want you to know my arms are still open wide. Speak to me with simple faith. Please come. And when you say this, believe that I am not standing far away to listen. I am right beside you, closer than your breath, kinder than your fear, and more patient than every time you have delayed coming back. My beloved child, from today onward, look back at what is past with new eyes. What you thought was loss may have been protection. What you thought was delay may have been preparation. What you thought was silence may have been quiet care. I am teaching you to trust not only when everything opens, but also when doors close. I am teaching you to walk not only by what you see, but by trust in the one who loves you completely. Be at peace. My child, I have come near. I am here, and I will not let go of your hand on the journey ahead.